They can't speak for themselves, but what if they could? What would they say? We love our pets like family. We trust what we feed them is safe and healthy. But what if it's not? Much of what we buy is full of cheap filler, artificial additives, harmful chemicals, toxic ingredients hiding in plain sight, poisoning our pets over time. We can't let reckless, greedy companies dictate the health of our pets. It's time to pull back the curtain and expose the truth behind what's really going on. It's time to take back control. What you're about to watch could change everything for you and the health of your pets.
It really goes back to about 2010. My partners and I, particularly Steve Youngblood and Simon Liu, were involved in another company that was dealing with health and wellness. And Simon came to us at that time and said that his mother had taken a product 10 years before that was pretty remarkable. And this particular product was called the Coriolus versicolor mushroom. And they basically said that there was not much they could do for her past that particular point. She was aware of this particular product being used in Japan and also in China to help support the immune system. And it's common knowledge that the immune system is the body's first defense, God's first responders, as I like to call it, to everything that comes against the body, that is from the smallest of issues to the most catastrophic. And so she knew the doctor that had developed it. And this particular product really was discovered by Japanese researchers and Chinese researchers in the 1970s when they decided to take a look at the product in terms of its immune supporting capabilities, primarily because in ancient Egypt and also in ancient China, it was used as a food product, mushroom soup. And all they knew is that when people were sick, they would give them this food product and they would get better. They didn't know why. Wow. Kind of like the old chicken soup scenario, if you will.
Right.
But through the ages, it was continually used as an herb, particularly in the East, to help people that were not feeling well. The doctors discovered that it had this amazing ability to support the immune system. And what they did is they created a process to which they were able to take the mushroom at the mycelia stage, which, as everybody knows, is right before it becomes the fruited body. And they were able to extract the essence of the mushroom out. And they put it in pill form. And the results that they got with patients that were dealing with some serious issues were quite remarkable. When Simon's mom had this issue and she started taking it, a couple of months later, she went back to Sloan Kettering and they couldn't find anything.
Wow.
And they were absolutely amazed by this. And what this did was trigger the first clinical study for Coriolus versicolor on its effect on the immune system. Now, it's important to realize here that the particular product that we're talking about doesn't cure anything. Doesn't cure, treat, mitigate, prevent any disease. What it does is that it supports the immune system. And the immune system is compromised as we get older. We started to send this product out for humans, and the human beings that were taking it were reporting back with all kinds of wonderful results from issues that they're dealing with. And remember that anything that comes against the body, from the most smallest of concerns to the most catastrophic, is in the wide range of what this product is able to support.
Pet Club 24/7 started back in the late 2017. We were kind of sitting around. I had just found out that my dog Nala had cancer. It was bone cancer, and she was an older dog, so I didn't think too much of it. Mm-hmm. But then I started thinking about my daughter lost her dog Chance to cancer, and he wasn't an old dog. He was only 8 years old. And I thought, that's kind of weird. And this was just like a month before. And my other daughter lost their dog, Sarge, to cancer, and he was 5. And Gino, our partner, co-founder of Pet Club, also lost his dog, Gunner, to cancer. This was all within like a 7-month period. It didn't feel right. There just seemed to be something not right here. So we started looking into what our pets were eating, what their environment looked like, what kinds of things are our pets exposed to on a daily basis. And back about 15 years ago, we started another company selling Coriolus versicolor to humans and just have thousands of testimonials. So when we started looking into what was happening with pets, we started to do some research. Will this work for an animal? We had no idea. So we thought, well, let's do some research.
Yes, I've seen a rise in cancers, autoimmune disease, chronic disease. It's very unfortunate, but there's been a definite increase. I've been in practice almost 20 years, and there's been a big difference in these last 5-10 years in the numbers of these types of diseases. I have seen an increase in various kinds of cancers, such as lymphoma, which is a disease that's often linked to environmental toxins, and a lot of different autoimmune conditions. Unfortunately, I do see a lot of patients coming in with digestive disturbances. A lot of it can be traced back into ultra-processed food, such as kibble, that's gone through high heat extrusion and can produce compounds and chemicals that are not good for the health and can have long-term consequences. Not to mention, can be hard to break down in the body and utilize. I think some of the causes for this rise in cancers and autoimmune conditions has a lot to do with nutrition and the food chain and the types of foods that end up in pet food and components. I think that they can be very toxic and not health promoting. And the other thing that I see a lot of is effects of over-vaccination.
We discovered that there was a study conducted by the University of Pennsylvania School of Veterinary Medicine that had said that dogs and cats that were given the Coriolus versicolor mushroom, who had cancer, lived longer than those that weren't given the Coriolus versicolor mushroom.
It was a real easy transition for us to go from wanting people to be healthier and happier to go to having pets being healthier and happier.
It was a lot of fun how it all started. They started with some little dog biscuits called the Mush Puppies, and they were working so well, people started asking, how can we get this for our cats? So then they also made a handmade gravy for dogs and cats and had additional vitamins and minerals and antioxidants, and we were seeing so many dogs and cats making these recoveries, and people started feeding the dog biscuits to their horses. So they created horse cakes called the Mush Ponies, and it was just so incredible as we continue to see progression and get so many testimonials. They kept adding more options for dogs, cats, horses, even people as well as it moved forward.
So I think that it's important to take that pet parent and guide them as to better food options that aren't ultra-processed, that are cleaner, non-GMO, human grade, fresh ingredients that are not heavy with ultra-processing or clear of any kind of contaminant, I think is really important, not just for digestive health, but for longevity.
So we started educating people, and the testimonials just started pouring in.
16 years old, and 2 years ago the vet said just make her comfortable until her organs give out in a few months, or we can just go ahead and relieve her of her miseries now. And so we just didn't feel like it was time, so we posted on social media. We were very sad, of course. A great friend came by and said, look, I think that this might be helpful for Zenta. We said, Coriolus versa, what? We started giving them to Zenta, just these little biscuits, and thinking, okay, we can't hurt, right? And at least she'll be treated well. Well, little did we know, 4 days later, Zenta's jumping on the couch. So we started really taking note, and within a week, we were already backing down on her medications, and here we are today. Zenta is completely medicine-free. 2 years later, she just went on a desert hike with us yesterday for 5 miles and did absolutely amazing. So we're so grateful to Pet Club 24/7 for giving her absolute quality of life over these last 2 years. It's been amazing, and we can't wait to see what's in store for us in the future.
Yum, yum, yum. Are you sure?
My kitty, she is 17, and I just got back from the vet and I'm like happy crying. I've been giving her that super sauce all the time, like twice a day, and I am just so beyond happy.
We have Scout for about 11 years now, and we started noticing about 3 years ago he started slowing down. He was unable to jump on the bed, and when my daughters Macy and Mariah would take him on walks, he would walk for about 30 yards and then he'd lay down, and they'd carry him the rest of the way. So I heard about Pet Club 24/7 and about the products from a gentleman that I really trust and share a friendship with. And he mentioned to me that they have products that are going to help him build his immune system. And I said, okay, no problem. Let's try them out. And I kid you guys not, within about 2 to 3 days, we started noticing a little difference. And then we took Scout on a walk probably about a week after we started using the products, the Mush Puppies, and he would walk the entire way. He would walk at least a mile, and it's just been completely amazing. He's a new dog. He's just happy. He's more energetic. So I'm so thankful for Pet Club 24/7 for the products that they offer. Imagine if you could have your best friend around one more day or one more week or even one more year.
Mush ponies are so exciting for us because we have a mounted patrol officer here in Boulder City named Odie. Odie's a 19-year-old horse. We started Odie on Mush ponies, and 4 days later, his owner called us and said, I can't believe how much better he's walking. Where do I get more? I'm so excited to say that 3 weeks later, Odie was filmed in Las Vegas with Shania Twain walking the strip like a champ. We're so excited about Mush Ponies and what it can do for all of our equine friends.
My name is Heather. I belong to Sandy. She is an 11-year-old mix. She came to us by a happy accident, and we discovered she had some issues up and down the stairs, getting in her favorite chair. And one day, about 2 weeks after using the Mush Puppies, I realized I had forgotten to put her step in front of her chair. Well, turns out she didn't need it because she jumped in that chair and never missed a beat. So I am convinced and 100% happy that we started using these products, because you can see in her face, in her eyes, that she's just happy. And she's not in pain, and she runs through the yard like she's a puppy again.
It was happening to the point to where dogs and cats were seeing significant results within about 2 to 3 weeks, which is much faster than the human beings were. And we started getting notices from people saying, and letters, emails, hey, why don't you put this into a human product? And we all kind of chuckled and said, well, we already had it. So we brought it in, and we did it in a little thing called a pet parent corner at the time. And people were starting to buy it. And then all of a sudden, it started to grow exponentially. Really surprised us. So we then expanded it a little bit further. I'm talking about the human side.
Right.
To Enforce Immune Support. Then we have Enforce Plus, which is Enforce with the reishi mushroom on it, which also helps with heart support, blood pressure support. Then we ended up with Enforce Restore, which was a product that is designed to help with support when it comes to pancreas and liver support. Then Enforce Clarity, which is a wonderful product that helps with cognitive issues, all natural and all tied to all these wonderful studies. So that's how a pet company ended up becoming a company selling products to people that are on the human side.
Because people were seeing incredible results, we knew that this couldn't be sold in stores. Because if you were like us, you go to the big box grocery store, the pet store, and you see aisles and aisles of choices, which are definitely overwhelming. In fact, you look at the ingredient list if you have time to do so, and that is overwhelming as well. And so we knew that this was something that people needed to share, to be able to share just how incredible the ingredients are, the mushrooms that are in these different products that we supply. And word of mouth is much more effective. We knew this. In fact, 71% of purchases are made from a social recommendation. And What does that mean? We all wonder. Well, how many times have we referred somebody to a great restaurant or a great movie and they went based on that recommendation, or vice versa, or something we had in common together? And the timing could not be better. If you look at the statistics of the pet industry just over the course of the last 3 years, how much has grown every single year. In fact, it did $147 billion last year, and projections by Morgan Stanley and other reputable industries are projecting that the pet industry is going to triple just by the end of 2030. Now, when we also look at the immune therapy industry, more so than ever, people understand the importance of a healthy immune system due to what we experienced in 2020. And people want to keep their immune system healthy. And so that industry alone globally did over $274 billion this past year and is projected by 2032 to reach $1.3 trillion.
Those statistics and those numbers really show you that people are spending their money in places that are important to them and on things that are important to them. And one thing that I'm so grateful about with especially Pet Club 24/7 is that by just redirecting this spending that's already been happening anyway, like you mentioned, these are huge industries. And by redirecting this spending and then redistributing those resources and getting them into good people's hands, it can really impact the world positively on a local level. And we can really be instruments of change by having the ability to do something like that.
My vision for Pet Club 24/7, I think it's personal to me. I've seen firsthand the benefit that the Coriolis First Color mushroom has made in so many lives. The vision statement for the company is, our mission is to enhance the lives of people and pets. We like to say every pet, every person, every day, because that's our vision. And we want to have 1 million voices helping us share that, because we truly believe that everybody would be healthier, happier, and more productive with a supported immune system.
It is a gift to be able to just educate people and encourage people to try something new, to do something different, and hopefully get better results for their pets and for themselves and the people that they love. It's really heartwarming, and we feel so blessed to be a part of it. And hopefully all together we can continue to pay it forward and impact as many lives as we possibly can.